Hi, this is Mia. It's Friday morning. I wish it was Thursday in a way. I have to be at an appointment for my midwifery training in a couple hours. Holy cow. It's already almost 10. The kids outside will wake you up, play basketball, and stuff is up in the morning. And there's 2-3 sets of them, and they'll play. The first group will play, and then the older kids will play, and then it's like, they get on the bus and it's silent. And by that time, you're like, oh, I wish I could have slept an extra hour to really feel refreshed, but it's like you woke up at 7-something, even if you are already up studying or reading or checking your email, it's still like, hey, that's really annoying at 7:30 in the morning, like 7:40, 7:50, so 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8:45, 8:50, it's like, that's really annoying noise. That's too bouncy, boom, 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 and you'll hear, like, what woke me up this morning was some little girl or something ran out of the house screaming. And it's like, gee, I'm glad she's happy. It's just like, if I were to get up and go to work at 8 in the morning and just run out, at the top of my lungs. Like, I always think, who lets their kids do that? Like, I don't know. I used to go down to the bus stop with my kids. I'm kind of weird, I guess, because, like, when I went to the bus as a kid, my mom would watch me with binoculars. It was less than a quarter mile from my house, but I'm thinking 1/8 of a mile, something like that. I'm just estimating. But it was just me. I was playing around. I would hear, like, rattlesnakes, so I was scared. I just want to show you this necklace that I'm making. It's not my favorite. I'm supposed to be working my business, Trinket Health and Home, and I've been struggling to get my work done. It's not done yet. It's see-through it like fishing line. It's supposed to be. I'm gonna go probably up to here. You can't see. Oh yeah, you can see it. So maybe like leftover. It's supposed to be working my home business, and I've gone. It's been like 3.5 weeks, pretty much exactly, since I've lost my job. It's probably been like 3.5, 4 weeks. I don't know. And I haven't received any unemployment, and I worked only 20 hours a week and didn't make that much, so I wasn't expecting much. They told me I'd get like a little over $100 a week. I was like, that's like 2 days pay. I'm like, wow. It's like, but I was like, well, I paid my taxes, I worked, I've been doing everything I'm supposed to do. I didn't quit. And I was like, well, every little bit counts, because I don't have anything, and all the jobs I'm trying to apply for, I don't qualify for, so I'm really freaking out. I'm supposed to be working on my own. I'm also a student, and I was also knowing that the people at work didn't like me, so I was kind of looking around, and it is really hard. Even though you can have a doctoral degree, good work history, good volunteer, like, honest person, and have all these certificates and degrees and licenses and different, trainings, and like, it's almost like too much. But when you're either a birth student or a birth worker and you need a steady income, it's really hard, in my opinion, to get a job where somebody's gonna be cool with you being a birth attendant. It's like, if I was like a nurse midwife or something in the hospital, or it would be your job. That would just be your job, and I know MDs that work regular MD shifts, but even though it's something to do with OBGYN, they can be working in more than one institution and be on call forward, like, if it's your patient that must be at my birth. And there's like a prestigiousness about that where, hey, my pager went off, I gotta go drive an hour out of town to attend a birth. And it's just like, oh yeah, the doctor got called in, the doctor got paged in. But for me as a naturopath and as a home, out of hospital, home in person or birth student, and then I was supposed to set up my career as a doula, which has been impossible for me. Earning money, it's like, if I commit to something, it'll be, maybe I'll get paid, maybe I won't, maybe, like, I've attended a couple of births because I was transitioning from doing doula birth to being a certified doula, which is not required in the state. You don't have to be certified, but I was transitioning. I was like, payment optional. I was like, payment optional. But then it's like, I got to the point, nobody paid me, so I was like, payment required, and I still haven't got paid, so I don't even know if I'm a birth. It's something I know they have a lot of money, and they're refusing, like, I have a discount rate for the state insurance. Doesn't matter anymore because of Obamacare, but say you're like homeless or something where you're really broke. You're not just stingy, you're broke. Or like in my condition, lost a job and you're raising kids alone, no child support. No. I'm like, this sucks. I'm really scared. I would give a discount to those people, and I would still have to charge them something on a payment plan, because it gets to a point where it's one thing to use your time, donate your time, which happens a lot for me, but it's another thing to be driving your car on fumes to the birth. Like, it just gets to a point where you at least need some money for gas, and you at least need to be able to buy a couple bananas or something to bring with you, and a handful of nuts. You know, if their insurance is going to pay for them to be in the hospital, or their insurance is going to pay for them to have for the diapers and whatever else the hospital sends you home with, the pads. But it's like, I needed something, and I can be certified and get a little bit from the state, which is like it's like about 1/10 or less of what the going rate is, but 1/10 is 1/15. That's more than these other people paid me. And I was driving out of state. I was missing work. Like, people don't care. Like, they don't care. Like, it's like, hey, I'm missing my job. Like, I'm missing my whole entire shift. I'm, like, in trouble at work. I'm, like, not getting paid. I'm not using this as sick pay. We didn't have personal days. I didn't earn vacation yet. So it was really heartbreaking. And they told us to give gifts in our doula training. They told us to give gifts for the moms, like teas and fruit, and I was giving essential oils that I purchased and gave. I'm like, the people that I bought it from, they made money off of it, and like, not only did I lose money, I also spent a lot on gas, and I learned, like, if I said it was optional or it's helped me finish my requirements, then some of them I was like, absolutely not, no payment, but some of them were easy. Some of them were like a couple miles from my house. That made it easier, and it was still a lot of time. Anyways, I've been reading books about business, and I was reading this book of this Christian lady was like, oh, I was on a mission trip in Africa, and I made $800. I looked at my bank account, I had $800 in there from some online thing I set up, and of course I didn't say what that online thing was. I was like, sounds crooked to me. He's like, is she really a Christian? Like, oh, she's like, God blessed her with this cash and fast cash. She didn't have to do anything. And I'm suspicious of it. But I'm like, no, I'm just gonna do everything, YouTube, everything. It's like, dude, like, I had to call the internet company and be like, I can't afford my bill. I lost my job. I don't have another job. It's like, I don't got any unemployment, and I'm using the internet to job search, and my kids are in web school. It's like, shoot. It's like, if it wasn't for those two facts, or if I could use the library computers for longer than an hour, I would have shut this stupid thing off. Unfortunately, it's like, I've never had cable. In my whole adult life, we had it, like, in the dorms. We had it once free in Comcast. 2003, and we had Comcast internet, and they gave us a year of free cable, but I never paid it. I never ordered it. I never had it. Neighbors that were on welfare were complaining that my kid doesn't have cable, that I'm screwing up their life, and I'm like, I'm working. I can't afford food. You're on food stamps and welfare. It's like, my tax money is paying for your cable. It's like, too bad. If I had money, I would consider, I wanted to have, like, National Geographic and stuff like that. I wanted to have, movie channel. That'd be cool. I had that when I was a kid. It was kind of fun watching movies and kicking back and having a good time. I've Netflix. By, like, a couple of times, maybe twice, I bought an album off Amazon. Like, I was just, like, using it's so loud in our neighborhood, I was using the TV or music to try to block the noise so I could study, and I used the music so I could clean or when I drive. Most of this music I downloaded a long time ago was all, like, free samples, so I put together free sample CDs and just I've been listening to the same sample, like, once every 3 years. I will somehow, like, when I was buying books from Amazon for school, they would give you a credit for a few dollars to, like, was it $5 or something, to get an album, an MP3, and so that's how I got a couple things. I don't buy books from them. If you get those little coupons for MP3, pretty much how we got a couple CDs that I have to play in the car, but it's just like, it's like the same old music I listen to, the same CD. I'll listen to it like 5-6 times over and over again. I'm like, this has got to go. This is really got to go. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't know what to do. I'm as cheaply as I can, and, like, I even used to borrow CDs from the library, and I didn't like them, and then I'd have that mistake of having the CD, where is it in the car, is it in the glove box, is it in the house? Like, at least I have to pay money. I was like, I could have bought this album cheaper than my fine. If $1 would be like, morning. There's some beads. I just want to show you. I got this thing of beads that I've had for a while from Walmart, and there's some really cool beads, but they have no matches, and I tend to do my stuff, like, same on left and right. I'm just like, oops, this one's really cool. It's like, take a break. Look at these. Oh, this one. Yeah, there's a bunch of really cool beads, but they don't really match. My problem when I make jewelry is I don't want to try to sell it or give it as a gift. It's like, I'll try to give jewelry as a gift that I made. It took a long time and a lot of work and really nice product, and I'd send it to someone, and I wouldn't hear back. Like, I wouldn't hear, like, oh, I got this thing you gave me, thanks. Or, here it is, you give it on Christmas or something. Put it on, take a picture. Look at me, I'm wearing the earrings you gave me. Like, kind of like, I feel like, did they even get it? Did they care? Or just like, ew, someone gave me jewelry. Trash it. Like, I was like, oh, I should probably package it and put a label on it so they don't think I'm just giving them old junk from my house. That might have something to do with that, so I'll do that next time. I don't like giving stuff. I don't like selling stuff. And I'll be like, oh, I need to make these earrings. These are my prototypes to make sure, like, they don't fall apart and the materials don't tarnish. And then I'll have, like, earrings. Like, I only made myself one pair of earrings. I'm like, oh, I need to make identical ones. These have been working for months and no problems. I need to make more. But I wish we had, like, a top drawer that had, like, everything. All the stuff like this, I have all in a bag because it's portable. And this, it's like, sometimes you can buy this string of beads, but it looks like one of the kids, probably my daughter, like, just hooked a clasp onto it. Because I was like, the other day I was like, oh, this is cool, I'm just going to wear this like that. But I was like, I should take it apart and you actually use the beads. And I was like, this looks cool like that. When they sell them, you just want to put a clasp on. I see that on Michael's. We go to Michael's more money, and it was mostly loan money. We'd go one time as my kid's medicine is a craft, and we always had to pay out of pocket to the doctor pretty much all the time. And my daughter would be fine when she had crafting supplies, so that was like, okay, I pay the doctor $100, or we can just go use all these coupons at Michael's and get that buy two get one free. So we had some of the stuff is left over from that. Some of it specific for my company, and you know, stuff like this is just around. We had someone help us purge, and we got rid of, like, we had a bunch of real silver, sterling, and all this stuff that you can hardly even find in the craft stores anymore. Certain ones have it, a lot of them don't have it anymore. And I was like, oh, that's stupid. And I was gonna make a video line like things I got like mad at myself for getting rid of, although my house would be stacked to the ceiling if I didn't. So, what time is it? I'm so mad. I don't want to leave. I told myself, just get dressed and leave. I had to answer this call. Hello? I'm okay. How are you? Okay. 3 and 4. Okay. Okay. Alright then. Thank you. Bye. Every time I talk about the doctor dentist, they call. I swear. I'd be like, speaking of which, because that's the same person. My same doctor is my same dentist. So naturopath and dentist are the same. Woke up this morning so mad that I couldn't get help with anything. I'm like, what is wrong? Like, I just bend over backwards. Like I said the other day, there was a meeting I told people I couldn't afford gas, I wasn't going to go. I was going to try to get a ride. And a lot of other people in that same little circle, like, they lost their job. They're like, oh yeah, let me see what I can do. Let me see what you can help me with. And someone gave away their car. I was giving them rides every month to this meeting and taking them home. I didn't have to, like, I would be gone all day at school and go to work and give this person a ride and have my kids not have dinner. And I'm just so, it's like, I keep telling myself, you don't give to receive. But it's like, you feel like in certain groups, the same thing happened when I used to go to the church. I don't really give them to get back, but sometimes, like, you invest in something that's like a family, a small family, and you feel like sometimes, like, when you are to give, and sometimes you need to ask for help. And let's say, and from a healthier community that I'm a part of, that I was kind of distant. It's like I distance myself with the unhealthy. It's like I distance myself from healthy people and undistance myself from, like, with people that are abusive. And I think that's a problem with being raised in an abusive household. But if it's like a community, you want to be like, sometimes you just need to speak up. And somebody had said in the healthy community once, we're all here to support each other, and when you can give, you give. When you can help clean up, you clean up. When you can help stack chairs, or help take care of children, or just give someone a hug, it's like you can do what you can do. And when you are suffering and not really able to give, then give to you. But it's like, we're not mind readers, at least most of us aren't. Like, if you need help, they said, if you need help, ask for help. And I would see women, and I would be like, can you help me with this? Like, someone's like, oh yeah, we're gonna help you move, you're gonna help me with this. And then they would no-show, and they'd go crazy, and I was like, those are really crazy people. Like, well, that's just human nature. No-show, no call, needed to get help. Call it when you leave domestic violence, you have to call the police to go to your house with you. You have 15 minutes to gather your stuff from your abuser's house, or your old house. And I had someone set up for that. They no-showed. The police met us there, and we had to cancel because they were supposed to bring a truck, something like that. They didn't come, and I was like, they didn't even call, because it's like, we didn't have a lot of money, but you could have rented a U-Haul or a truck, or asked somebody else. But they're like, yeah, I'll be here, and they said someone else was going to come, and all this. They couldn't even call. So sometimes I asked for help. I was like, if I ask for help, this could be some flaky person, and I'm like, someone's trying to ask me to work out of state as a physician. I'm like, dude, like, everything that I want to do is like, I don't want to drive to the next state and work as a physician. I feel bad. I'd rather drive down the road here. I want to be as close to home and or my kids' school as possible. Preferably close to home. So if my kids have to go to school, it would just be like, you can get to their school and usually try to give ourselves an hour. Because traffic, morning traffic. Someone is trying to get me to work as a doctor out of state. And I'm like, I'm pretty desperate. But every time I was desperate, I fell into a trap at work. Like, trying to work for other people, I fell into, like, really wasn't. It would have totally benefited me. So, I'm for a while, people here, really, like, so you get the police involved. I don't have time for people to be flaking out, and I just, like, found a lot of unreliable people, and people, even like, they don't even have to be needy. They could be, like, caring and giving, and if they're, like, if they say, yeah, we're gonna do this thing, and this was really pretty. If they're gonna do this thing and be like, then we're gonna, I had a lady at church, she'd be like, oh yeah, come over, bring your kids for lunch. And like 3 or 5 times, she would totally not. She would just be like, oh, my girl's gotta be somewhere, and she'd leave church. I'll see ya. Don't have time to talk. Sorry. And I'd be like, my kids, we were like 45 minutes from home, like thinking we're gonna go to his house, and after that, every time I just said, I am going to make a backup plan for lunch because, it's just, my worst thing was looking at my kids after church, being like, and they have this, after all that happened with a couple people at church, they would do that all the time. Oh yeah, we're having a birthday for my son. I'll give you directions where we're going. And then it's, you wouldn't hear from, like, oh, next week, oh, we have so much fun, it was so great, you should have come. Like, well, it's like, you told us you were going to tell us. It was like, should I be calling, the dentist and other people or myself? I have a paper schedule that I don't like. And it's like, have a paper schedule that I don't like, and I should probably clean this thing out. So much stuff from work in it. I have a paper schedule, and I like the little ones. I have a paper schedule. I lost my phone. I lost all my information. My old phone totally broke, and I lost everything. And then I get it to work a little bit, saying that I was $920 or $30 for not returning the phone within 3 days. I was like, forget it. So I lost a bunch of important stuff I needed for midwifery. Anyways, and a whole bunch of other things. But anyways, I'm like, who makes plans and doesn't write it down, or at least put a note on your door? People have phones, smartphones, they have paper, pencil, like calendars on the wall. Like, who just says, oh yeah, let's do this thing tomorrow, and then actually like double, triple themselves. Like, I myself, but then I shoot something to give. I try to have to decide, or I try to stagger things, and then sometimes I tell someone, hey, I really have to do something, and I'm going to be late, or I won't make it if I don't finish in time. And so, some things, like for the unemployment, this one's pretty too. It feels like it's never going to get done. So I woke up this morning just feeling angry at my fellow humans because I've bent over backwards in times of need myself to help others, and then I asked for something simple. I think these are plastic, but I'm going to use them anyway. And it's like everyone totally, they don't even return, like people don't even return your messages. They don't even say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not available to help you. And you're just like, me as a single parent, I was reading the YouTube bloggers, Gazelle, something, Intense. I don't want to credit people. And they said they lost 25, or lost, which a good, they got rid of 25 grand in a year, and they're like, we make $7. Like, currently I'm making $0, and I'm still looking for jobs. I wake up at like 3 in the morning, job searching on my phone, and I'm like squinting, like, I gotta do this because I'm still training as a midwifery student, and I'm not able to sit at home and do a bunch of stuff, and my kids get up. I'm not able to, like, when you actually have a job and you go to work, then you're working, your kids aren't interfering, the student requirements are on hold until the next day, until you can work. It makes for a busy schedule, like, okay, you can run here, do this, go to work, then run back here, another side of town or other state to do this at 8 o'clock at night, and da-da-da-da, and it sucks, and it's my choice. I hated going to school. Like, I hate it. I promise right now. Unfortunately, it sucks. Unfortunately, the price of school went up because I wasn't borrowing that much. Unfortunately, the price of food and housing went up. I had to borrow maximum. Unfortunately, my interest rate went up after I committed to going to school the first couple of years. Everything rose so dramatically that it was just like, if I'd known that it was going to be that bad, I would not have even entered the school. I would not have even applied. And I did all the numbers on how much I would owe. It's going to be 100 or something, and stuff over. Because to get the money back, I knew how much I had to earn every year, and it all is so exponentially insane that I feel like my brain doesn't work enough to even comprehend. It's like I'm so overwhelmed that I feel like I'm not even able to think. And I have, let's see, I'm going to find some more beads. I might not, I'm just going to use I still have my notes. I'm still trying to finish class 3. I don't even know if this is all. I think, where's the rest of this? I want to finish this before I go to my midwifery appointment. I don't want to go, though. I'm really mad. I'm really, like, I have so many obligations. This is how I pass my other boards, though. So I'm not trying to, be that angry. It's like, beads like this. It's so cute, but I can't find the matches to stuff like that. That was really... Wait, is this a match? Kind of. Kind of not. Kind of is. Close enough to me. I remember watching an old beading thing on OPB or something, PBS OPB, and they were like, oh, these beaded purses, each one of them has one bead that's mismatched because people who made these said only God is perfect. So some of these are like totally mismatched. There's like at least two matched. It was like, only God is perfect. I was like, although I shouldn't purposely mess. I'm one of those persons, I was in a pageant and the person before me messed up, and it's like I pretty much purposely messed up just to make them not be the only ones who messed up, and of course I didn't win. I was like, I have this really bad empathy reflex where I want to feel like other people. I want to be able to empathize with them even if it messes me up. It's really bad. I think it's not good for being a successful business person. And unfortunately, because of my upbringing, I feel like if somebody's successful, I'm like that person's successful. Like, that person's so successful, they did A, B, and C, and my relatives would be like, that's stupid. I would never do A, B, and C. It's too much work. It was like, and like that's the point of people that are entrepreneurs and successful business people. There's a lot of work, but there's a lot of reward, which this book I'm reading reminded me of, looking at successes. Something reminded me of successes. But yeah, I was like, $70,000 to people. They're kids. I was like, dang, like, they can definitely buy, even if they're just really cheapskates, they can buy food and not have to worry, like, and get out of debt like crazy people. And I'm like, So, I'm going to, this one is cool, but it's like double. I'm going to pray and ask God to remove my hatred towards humanity and against, like, I memorized everything. I'm like, I remember these people, I remember these people, I remember these people. And it's like, I did so much and helped them after they lost their job and went to their house and gave them stuff and did this and did that after they had surgery. And I didn't do it to get anything. It's like, what goes around comes around. It's my turn to need help. I'll get help, and I've got nothing. My dad gave me a few comforting words about making sure to study for this exam, so I was like upset at myself for being mad at my dad. This one's cool too, but there's one similar. It's like this one is not really anything. Like, the colors are way too different, but there's one I had similar to this one, but it had a sharp edge. I will probably find a similar match. This one's a really pretty color. So I'm mad at myself for being mad at my dad. I was like, you know what? Sometimes it comes down to, he even was like, oh, all these people that tried, when you worked at your job, they were calling you in the middle of the night asking for help. They were confused. Career move forward. Nobody's gonna brag and say how good I am. And in the long run, it became that I lost my job and they got promoted, and I was like, wow. And my dad's like, well, those people weren't there for you anyway, and those people didn't help you when you were a student there anyway. They would exclude you from study groups and not work with you in class. And I was like, crap, that's true. Just do is use you, milk you for all you get. It's like, as an African American, you would know, like, I would have date white guys, and they would never go out in public. It was just like, oh, it's okay if you're just like in secret, but it's like they're not gonna acknowledge that they find you interesting or smart or And I was like, dang, these people are such backstabbers. They just want what they want, but they don't want to give anyone any praise or I would be like giving people good reports and stuff, Even if I didn't think they were perfect, I'd give them really good scores, give teachers really good comments. There's, like, what goes around comes around. I want to be able, this has a sharp edge, I want to be able to have, the karma wheel work for me. It's like, goes around, comes around, and I feel like it's backfiring. It's like, I was like, dear God, please. Job lost everything, and you repaid him with a whole bunch of good livestock and everything. I'm like, dear God, I'm just going to be patient and keep my faith like Job. It gets real hard because then make people have the ability, people in power have the ability to make your life miserable. Even if it's not, it's like a demonic thing. Even if it's inaccurate, because they don't like you as a person, or they don't like that you're a person of color with a education that's higher than theirs. Like, well, I'm not coming in this job to be higher than you. It's like, what if I was higher? What if I was coming in a job higher than you? It's like, then would I get respect? Of course not. So you would rather get rid of somebody like that than to give them any respect. Because I'm not Caucasian, I'm not white. These two are cool too, but it's like not matching these flat ones. Anyways, I'm going to ask God to forgive me for my anger, and I hope I should without getting in trouble. Little golden. I have the little red hen here. It's like, I don't know if I can show anything on picture, but it triggers some kind of copyright. I brought this out, and I was like, I don't care. I'm going to read the book. I was going to read it, family story time with a bunny, but my daughter is downstairs, and I don't want to, she's a teenager, I don't want to hear you talk about for forgiveness. I see people on the side of the road, and I don't give them anything. Sometimes I do, but usually I don't, because I don't have a lot. So when I think about it, how many people did I pass and not give a penny? How many people that I hear lost their job and I didn't give them a check for $10? And sometimes it's a matter of praying, like, God, should I give? No, you need to, like, my kid even spoke up the other day about walking to the park wearing flip-flops. He's like, I didn't have proper shoes. Like, it's like, your mom didn't provide you with proper shoes. That's me. It's just like heartbreak. And so it becomes like, to get my proper shoes, do I give to this guy on the side of the road who lives in a hotel up the street, or lives in an apartment who gets food stamps, Social Security income, and all, like, more money than I have, like, honor citizens, bus pass, like, sometimes with me it's just a matter of, God, what to do right now. No, it's like I pick up pennies and dimes off the street, just because it's more. And I made it work today. Because I lost my job, and it's really sickening to me. People on the comments on job loss and unemployment rate, we're talking about they're counting all these jobs and which ones are half jobs, and all the people lost their jobs, and the jobs that are available are 50%, 30, 40, 50% less pay, and I see that. It's like, I was struggling on that pay. How can I live on half that? But half that would be more than I make now. This is working as a physician. I save enough, so I'm than that. But all of the education I have gives me enough experience to do, and all the extra education to do certain jobs in certain categories. But because I took the naturopathic, not the allopathic path, I don't have the state credentialing that this facility wants. Even though I have the experience, the education, and the knowledge, I can still call myself a primary care physician. I can still do minor surgery. I can still attend births and help deliver babies until I actually get my certificate, my license, which says I can actually, do it on my own. And then I have neonatal resuscitation. I have healthcare providers, CPR. I have DEA certificate. Like, I have malpractice insurance. and it sucks because I can't use it unless I either join another naturopath or open my own clinic. The other naturopaths, I had some shady stuff going on, or other practitioners, and I can't join them. And right now I'm like my friend just texted about working across the state lines. We worked so hard to move over here. I commute. They're training across one river, and the drive is, it's just one of my biggest pet peeves. And the drive 4 miles from here is a big pet peeve. Like, I don't even want to drive to the Winco, which is like a mile and a half. The traffic's so bad in Portland. So if I lived on the east side, I probably would have responded, yeah, what do I need to do? Part of me wanted to move across the state line and all this, but part of me now, someone at work who took my job, who I trained, and they completely took my job, they were like bragging because they're moving closer to work, and I moved closer to that facility too, and it's like, I didn't brag about it. It's like, so now we're here so my daughter can have friends. I mean, we moved here after 7.5 years of searching in private neighborhoods because I'm black. They would not rent to me. And everyone's like, that's against the law. Like, what am I going to do? Go hire a lawyer? Like, if I could afford to hire a lawyer, I would be able to afford to buy a house and not worry about these fools. You know. These are all. I was like, all of them. Oops. These are all pretty. The shiny ones, really shiny. I mean, the time, like, I can't even get a lawyer for auto accident injury, like, this sucks. I couldn't even find a lawyer for child support. I didn't find out. I've been looking for a lawyer. The only lawyer I could get was for, divorce and child custody, and that was through Portland State. Provided lawyers at the time. So I fees, so I just did it. And most of the cases, they're like, oh, you're unique. But, like, most of our cases for Deweys, you know, driving under the influence, I'm like, oh, really? I was like, well, it's not me. I just want to be able to actually, somebody proper paperwork, and they had a kid who was sick, and they weren't allowed to put her into inpatient or any facility without both parents, because there was 2 parents. She would need permission signed by both parents to put her in a care facility, and so she said that was one of the main reasons she got legal help with being whatever it is, a parent. Being the other parent was homeless and on drugs, which is a similar story to my kid's dad, and you can't find them if there's emergency. Anyways, it's not like, there's some people that have jerks as their kids as all their parent, but they start parenting time, they answer phone, email, so they can live out of town. Usually people don't allow them to move out of town. But yeah, I have so close to my kids, but they still, like, I still couldn't even get a passport, for Pete's sakes, which my kid's passport expired now, and I had to go to I was a responsible parent. I don't get child support. I have no money. I have no job, but I had to go to the courthouse and pay money for copies of my divorce papers. I was like, I gave him copies of my original papers that had, like, the little red stamp, and showed it to the lady at the post office, who photocopied it and stamped it, saying this is a true copy, and they denied it and said, you have to go and get, like, a seal from, and pay all this money per page to reprint it and have it sealed by the court that day. And I was like, great. I was like, why am I always looked at as a criminal when it comes to being a responsible parent? But that's what you gotta do. You know, give Caesar what Caesar's. And ask God if we're angry at people. This is what I'm almost done. You know what I kind of wanted to do? I kind of wanted to take, like, just plain beads. Maybe, like some of these are bigger than the others. This one's a little bit bigger. Because I had seed beads. Oh, yeah, I have, these are, like, impossible to see. I had like these little seed beads. They're a little bit smaller, well, they're a lot smaller than these other beads, these other seed beads. I was thinking of alternating those, like, little, medium, and because if the necklace is up here, I could see too much. I don't want all black, though. I keep moving stuff. I don't know what I did with it. That's why I wanted, like, a drawer. But, yeah, I'm going to ask God to forgive me for, just being angry and realizing, like, the book I was reading, part of it, or whatever I was reading the other day about being kind of self-reliant, and I didn't look that word up, the definition, just moving forward, maybe just tell myself just grow up and do what I need to do, and old church would be like, it's a village should read a so can you babysit now? I was like, could you answer the phone to pray for me for 5 minutes? No. Nothing. Don't ask me to do anything. It's like, and the whole church, they would yell at me because I never spent Thanksgiving with anyone else. So I'd call everyone. You want to come over? Can I come over? No. They said that I was ruining my kid's life for not having Thanksgiving at somebody's house. But you know how embarrassing it is to go through your phone, everyone in church, and asking if you can invite yourself over for Thanksgiving. And then anytime we'd get invited by these flaky people, they would like, as soon as you're getting ready to get in the car, oh, sorry, I'm not doing it anymore. It's like, sorry, I changed my mind. You can't come over. I'm like, oh. And then you go to church on Sunday and yell at you. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna make my own turkey then. That was at the time I could make my own food, which I want for my kids before I leave. So right for Accountability Club, I have one more paper that I have to finish typing for the unemployment. It is Friday. I won't be home until after 2. And what I'm thinking is that I need to do this. It's already 10. I'm so hungry too. I just woke up with a bad stomach ache and everything. Like, I feel like garbage. I've been having like a sore throat, and my kids are stressed, and my face is sore from tension, and every few days getting something from unemployment saying you do not qualify because we don't have enough information. I was like, I have sent you everything. So there's one piece of paper. So Accountability Club, that's what I'm going to do. I think even with these pretty beads in front of my face distracting me, I told myself that I was, besides my business that I planned, I told myself, I can't feel this bead in my hand right now. I know it's there. It's like an aura about it. I told myself I wanted to retrain my nerves to feel again and to be able to use fine motor skills. The first time I made earrings, it took me hours. This was just a month or like 2 months. It took me something that I could just whip. Just be able to whip it up within an hour and be finished. It took me hours, and I was like, wow, this has destroyed my life, but I have a severed arm, and there's, every time I drive, like, I could be in another accident, I get all paranoid. So, part of this, because my doctor wasn't very organized about sending me to physical therapy and stuff, I said, I'm going to use this as something to help me get and I to do everything, which I used to pretend I was blind when I was a kid and walk around the house and just use touch and sense things, but my eyes have been sore. The accident happened, my eyes are sore, I think just from the jolt of everything, but my eyes have been so fatigued since then, as I'm using, whenever I do this, it's like, whoosh. Before it's just like, you could draw blood, it's like, but now it's just like, eyes, and then trying to retrain my sensory. So I'm going to, the book that I was reading last night, or was it this morning, about working from home, mom working from home. It was that whole setting goals. Now, because of abuse, in my opinion, if you say there's a road where there's a bunch of dollar bills coming out of trees, and say there's another road where there's a bunch of scary spiders and yucky stuff. Abuse taught me, you don't deserve the dollar bills. Go down the road with the scary spiders. Go down the road with cockroaches. Like, and I wonder why I don't have friends because of this type of thinking. In my spirit and in my mind, I know, go down the road with the dollar bills, but my mind will even tell me, you don't deserve it. Like, I'll have relatives be like, you don't deserve that kind of life. I'll have people come to my house saying, you don't deserve to live in a private place. You have to live on Section 8 housing. Like, people like you. And so with racism, with abuse, and maybe some of the abuse stemmed from the thing. My dad fought for, there's 21 houses where I live, and 2 families are from the Middle East. And all of us, the rest of us, 1 family is from, they're Mexican Americans. Everyone else is black or of direct African descent. And except for the lady who's black and white and the kids are Mexican. So she's a combo of it. So myself to really follow that goal. Hello?